We can't assume that our students know how to have a conversation, and we can't assume that our students know how to collaborate with one another. So there are a lot of things that we can do as teachers to build and foster this culture of collaboration to ensure that when we give these students an engaging, awesome, super fun activity, that collaboration is actually going to happen. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Ciera's Teaching Channel. I'm so glad you're here. Tonight we have an amazing episode. We're going to be talking all about building a culture of collaboration. I've got 3 quick tips. Hopefully these are things that will help you reflect on your process of building the culture. They're not necessarily quick wins or action steps. They're going to be things that really make you step back and think about, what kind of a culture am I truly building in my classroom? And is it one set around collaboration? Tip number 1, accepting student differences. So you're probably thinking, yeah, I do that. I accept all my students. I love all my students. Well, it goes a bit more than saying you love your students and maybe thinking you accept their differences. It goes beyond that. So I love this quote. It's a leader's job is to touch every one of the people that they lead so that they know that they're free to think and do things better. And I think that quote right there completely sums up our roles as teachers. We're the leaders of the classroom. We want to be able to reach out to our students and let them know what kind of a voice they have and be able to use that voice and know that they are free to speak up and challenge and agree and accept and question. They need to know how powerful that voice is. So I want you to think about these questions. I'm going to ask a few questions and I want you to just kind of think about the answers. All right? Are our students free to think and do things better? How would your students react to knowing that they are all unique and that their differences are not just tolerated, but that their differences, perspectives, and diverse experiences actually add to the group and classroom learning experiences? How are we celebrating those differences? How do their differences impact what you do in the classroom? How do their differences impact what they're allowed to speak up and say and do when it comes to their learning? So yes, we may love all of our students and we do our very best to teach them in the way that we think is best and is natural to us, but how are we truly showing, telling, and providing our students with a voice? That's really important. Here's another question. What would our classrooms look like if we truly believed that of our students? That meaning the question prior. So you may be thinking, yes, but what does this have to do with collaboration? And I think this sums it up very simply. If our students don't feel free to speak their mind on any situation, whether it be academic or social in the classroom, then what kind of a confidence do you think they have to speak up when they're doing a small group activity or working with a partner, right? That confidence is the same kind of confidence. Our voice is our voice, no matter kind of what we're saying. So it's all connected. All right, let's move on real quick to number 2. Tip number 2, peer rejection and peer acceptance. Research has actually shown there is a direct correlation between participation and self-acceptance or self-concepts within students. So, peer rejection is a major factor in the decrease of self-confidence. Right? Think about it. We're rejected ourselves in any way in our life, whether it be someone honking at us while we're driving, right? That's a type of rejection that, that can shake you a little bit. It may not be big, but it's still gets to you a little bit. Or it can be huge where you're fired from your job. But peer rejection is a major factor in that self-confidence Therefore, it's decreasing their participation as well. So it is our job as teachers to create an environment where students feel safe and they feel safe enough to be able to participate. They know that if they're rejected, that they're still supported. They know that when they're going to be rejected, that they're going to be rejected in a very cordial way, in a very polite way, in a way that's going to make them think more and not just point fingers and say you're wrong. So again, that starts with day one in your classroom. How are you modeling your behavior? How are you teaching your students to do this? So how do we create these classrooms where everyone feels free to participate? There's a lot of different things that you can do for that. And I know you probably have some ideas up your sleeves. But that's another thing to think about. All right, we're ready for number 3. And number 3 is simply building confidence. Building confidence in our students is absolutely going to impact their ability to collaborate because, again, it kind of stems from everything we just talked about on tip 1 and tip 2, but building that confidence. And it's going to come from knowing that they're accepted. It's going to come from knowing that their voice is not going to be shot down because they disagree and knowing that they can speak up. When those things happen, their confidence is built. So students need the opportunity to feel validated, right? And that their voice is being heard. We've said that. So when this happens through collaboration in the classroom, their confidence in themselves absolutely increases. So how can we help our students build confidence? Well, 1, you can validate their answers. Anytime a student gives an answer, even if it's correct or incorrect, validate their thinking. Thank them for giving the answer. I love that. Tell me how you came up with that. Why do you think that answer is correct? Where did you get that information from? They need to know that you're not going to turn around and tell them you're wrong. No, and move on to the next student. Also, are you encouraging students to share with others? I want you to think about how much talk time your students have in a lesson, not a day, a lesson, versus how much talk time you have. So if you're doing a 30-minute lesson, 20 minutes of that should be all student talk time. 10 minutes should be yours. Probably about 4 or 5 at the beginning and maybe 4 or 5 at the end. The rest of the time, students should be hands-on, working with the text, working on whatever they're working on, and you are walking around, facilitating, giving support, answering questions. Their time should be higher than yours. That's going to help build the practice with collaboration. That's going to encourage students to share with others. That is going to give them more opportunities. It's got to happen. And then the third way to help make sure you're building your students' confidence is to not accept incorrect answers. Student gives an incorrect answer. There's some thinking behind that answer. Use guiding or tiered questions to help lead them to the correct answer. That way, they don't just automatically get shut down and know that their answer is wrong. Therefore, their voice isn't validated and they aren't heard. They need to know that the power to think and find the right answer is there. All right, friends. So I know there's probably a ton more to talk about. I actually have a blog post all about building collaboration in the classroom. I will put the link in the description of this video, so make sure to go and check that out. I also have another blog post about classroom discussions. And there's a fantastic free workbook for you in there that gives all kinds of tips and tricks when it comes to classroom discussions. So make sure to click both links. Go and check those out. If you have any questions about building the culture of collaboration, I would be happy to chat with you. Make sure to just leave those in the comments and I will get back to those as soon as I can. And thank you so much for joining. I'm so happy that you're here. Make sure to tag some friends to check out the video as well if you think they would like it. And we will talk soon. Thanks so much and have a great day. Bye.